Good afternoon, everybody. This is Barry here with you, checking in on you all, and welcome to Wednesday afternoon, the 28th of October. It's nearly a quarter to two here. Welcome to episode 87 of the Daily Wraps. Thanks for joining me here in the studio with my outsider today. Today I'd like to talk about the importance of traveling on the road in the bush. Before you even travel in the bush on the road, service your car. This is very important. I mentioned this on the program on Sunday, but I'm going to give you another friendly reminder now. But before I do that, guys, make sure that you have enough petrol to get you to from one destination to another. Make sure that you know how to jump start your car if you've got a flat battery, because there is nothing worse than having a flat battery in the bush, especially if you have a family sedan or station wagon. And you must, I repeat, you must always take care of it. And with me now in the studio is my outsider. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, it's actually very important points that you've made, Barry. Very important. So I would suggest to everyone to take whatever Barry has said into consideration and keep that very important.
And always make sure that you've got enough tools to fix everything, like your tires. Make sure you've got enough fan belts, spare coils, spare radiator hoses, that sort of thing. Because if your coil breaks and you've got only one, that's it. You've had it. Always purchase spare items for your car. Please don't go out into the bush with your car unprepared. Here's my outsider.
Yes, so you have to get everything sorted out and get them in the boot, like your spare tire, your spare tools, so that if anything of that sort happens, you know that you can just go inside your boot and grab a new pair of um, tires. So it's very important, as Barry said, to get yourself organized so that you avoid anything happening to you.
And always have some spare petrol and fill a funnel to put the petrol in, because you could be miles away from the nearest service station. Here's my outside.
Yes. So once you have a little bit of petrol in your car in case of any emergency, you can top it up before you get into the fuel station. Make sure that you should know that the petrol station is not 24 hours. Some of them do close at 10 o'clock at night. So when you are driving and it's in the middle of the night and you do not have a spare petrol, bear in mind that you wouldn't get a service station close by.
Because you must always carry a spare can of, of petrol with you. Jerry cans. Please purchase some jerry cans, put some petrol in them, store them in your garage until you are ready to go on your trip, and make sure that you know how to put petrol from a jerry can into your own petrol tank. Because, guys, you don't want to be left stranded and broken down in the bush. Always come prepared. We cannot say this enough to you on the show, because if you go on a trip and you have not got enough petrol or spare parts to fix your car, then you will literally have it. You could be stuck out in the middle of whoop whoop, in the middle of nowhere, and you could be miles away from help. Here's my upside.
That's correct. You'd be miles away from help, and no one would be available in the bush or at the end of the road trying to help you because it's late and it's dark and no one can see you. And it's very, very dangerous for you as well. So we need to get ourselves prepared and we need to have these extra things in our car.
And also have enough water for yourself and your traveling companion as well. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. I agree with you, Barry.
So, another important thing, don't just come out with your personal belongings. You need to be really organized for taking your car out into the bush. Please don't think that you've got everything, and before you even leave home, guys, write out a list of what you need to bring with you before, and decide what day you are going to go on your trip, how long you are going to go for, whether it's 7 days, 5 days, or just the weekend, and consider the weather conditions as well, if you are driving, because sometimes the road could be inaccessible wherever you may go. So you might want to keep that in mind. And the next question, have you got someone to look after your pets while you are away? Please consider that. Here's my upside.
Yeah, so all these things needs to be thought about. Who is going to take care of your pets? Who is going to make sure that they are okay? All these things needs to be figured out before we make that decision of going away.
And also, cancel your milk and your grocery order too. But I will get to that towards the end of the show. Another thing, you must always make sure that your kids are well hydrated too, as well as you and the person driving your sedan or station wagon or four-wheel drive. And always have a map of where you want to, of which route to take. Because if you're going, say, like Broken Hill, or anywhere like that, decide which route is best and how long it is going to take you to get there. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. So basically, you have to get yourself organized. That's simple as short. Days and days and days before you make that big decision of traveling. Organize yourself.
And also, guys, get a good night's sleep, because you need to be fresh before you start driving. Because if you are asleep in the middle of the night and you're not up this is a disaster, and you could end up losing control in the dark and in the wet, and you could flip over. Here's my offside.
That's correct. That's correct, Barry. I agree with you.
So please be mindful of what you are doing out there. If you are going to go and think, do I have enough of food? Do I have enough of water for myself and the kids and your traveling companion? Please, really do think, guys. And think about your health too and the weather conditions. Because like I said on Sunday, it could be 45 degrees wherever you are around Australia. And let people know where you are and find somewhere to stop each day and find a suitable camping area where you can set up your swag and your awning in case it's raining, that sort of thing. And work out what has worked during the day. Have a team meeting with your companions when you go away. You need to also work out what is going to work and what is, because no good guys go willy-nilly packing the kids in your station wagon or your four-wheel drive or minibus, because something could go wrong even before the trip begins. Someone in the family may become sick. How will you know where the nearest medical center is or the hospital? Think, here's my outsider.
That's correct.
Because, okay, it's great to go away, but guys, know which road you are going to take, whether you are going north, south, east, or west. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. Sorry. There is one important thing. There is now GPS on our phones, or you can buy yourself a GPS, or you can also buy yourself the software or the hard copy of directions booklet. You can pick one up from the post office, and that will give you directions of wherever you are going as well.
And be careful of your food supplies because, like I also said on the show on Sunday, you have to be your own mechanic. Well, I'm going to say this today on the show. You have to be your own food supply mechanic and petrol supply because the next service station, like I mentioned, could be like 300 k's away. And always make sure that you have a petrol gauge that is working. Because if it's not working, how will you know how much petrol you're using? Here's my upside.
That's correct. That's why you have to do a 6 monthly check with your mechanic to make sure that all your petrol gauge and check is working. Your odometer reading is also working. Your tires are safe. Your front mirrors, your front light, your fog light, everything should be working before you even make that decision of going away.
Because, like I said just a few moments ago, guys, you have to be responsible to know which way to go, how much diesel or petrol you are using, and always have a good set of jumper links. Because if you have a flat battery, the NRMA or the RACCB or the RACQ could be miles away. So please take responsibility for your actions. And if you are on your own out there, again, you are your own food supply, your mechanic, and your petrol supply. Because if you've only got one can of petrol and it's small and you use it up, that's it. You need to make sure you have plenty of fuel and water and things like that. And where are you going to camp at night if you are out in the bush? Please, really do think, because the area you may be going into may be flooded or there's a bushfire. So really do, but get yourself prepared. Don't leave it until the last minute. I cannot say this to you enough on the show. And concentrate on the road. Look out for animals too. Here's my offside.
That's correct.
So, in ending the show today, here are a few tips. Don't drive and then fall asleep in the middle of the night. Get a good night's sleep. Work out what time you are going to leave home and let your neighbors know when you are going and when you will be returning, because that's a must. Get them to hold on to any mail that you may receive, whether it's a parcel or a letter, or get the post office to redirect your mail to wherever you're staying. Organize with the post office before you leave and find out where the nearest petrol stations are, or find out, I should say, where the nearest petrol stations are before you go out into the bush. Because, like I said, the nearest petrol fuel stop could be 300 k's away. So please don't drive around on fossil fuel, and make sure that you be careful of all your supplies, and make sure you know how to connect your jump pulleys to your battery if the car won't start. And this is where I'd like to end episode 87 today. Please have fun, but on the same token, please be prepared. Have a wet weather. Have an alternate plan if it's too wet or there's a bushfire, and always make sure you have a convoy of cars with you, like a four-wheel drive, and make sure you've got winches. call each other out if you get stuck, and radio contact. Have fun, have a great trip, and I will see you next time on episode 88. I'm Barry here. Thanks for watching this very important video. Have a good afternoon, everybody. See you next time.